The next tool we're going to run is called Hillshade, and Hillshade will help make our maps readable. So in the Arc toolbox, we're going to navigate to the Spatial Analyst tools, we're going to navigate to Surface, and we're going to look for the tool called Hillshade. We're going to drag and drop Hillshade into our Suitability Analysis model. I'm going to drag it right underneath Clip. And then I'm also going to drag my input, and my input is that DEM that we clipped in the last step. And then I'm going to use my connection tool and connect that DEM to the Hillshade as an input raster. I'm going to right click on Hillshade and go to Open. And I want to make sure that it gets saved into my geo database as a Hillshade. Azimuth I'm going to leave at default, altitude at default. I do want to model some shadows, and the Z factor I'm not going to exaggerate the elevation. I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. Sometimes you'll see the number 2 here, and that has to do with how many times you've attempted to run this tool. I've already dragged and dropped it in here once and deleted it, and I just dragged and dropped it in here again, and that's why we see a 2 here. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on Hillshade and choose Run. I'm going to click Close, right click here and select Add to Display. I'm going to minimize this model builder window so that we can actually see what we just created. And we can see that just from this hillshade, some of that 3D relief on the surface. It's not a very high resolution. That's because our surface is only a 6 foot resolution. It's 2 meters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new group layer under Inventory, and I'm going to call this Topography. And click OK to that. I'm going to drag and drop my DEM into there and my hillshade into there, and I'll probably give my hillshade a transparency. Drag this window over to the right so that we can see the effects that will create. I'm going to go to the Display tab, and where it says Transparency, I'm going to add the number 5 in front of the 0 to give it a 50% transparency, and click OK. And that kind of helps, gives it some more depth. And we can see over here, this is going to be our high point of the site, and over here towards the south is our low point.